One of the patterns I've noticed in my writings is the feeling of depression and lack of motivation. I would find myself falling behind on work, and as a result, I would get into these moods that blocked my productivity. You had over a 2 year journey, and I'm sure you've had to deal with mental blockage or even a downward spiral with your emotions. Ed, I want to ask you, how would I go about overcoming these emotional obstacles? I was at my 2 year mark on my expedition. We had 4 months left. By far, the hardest thing at this point was my emotional state, keeping it together mentally. You think the hardest thing about walking the Amazon would be venomous snakes, electric eels, jaguars, anacondas, or even indigenous tribes. Add to admit, the hardest thing was keeping all my emotions together and keeping them from taking over. I phoned near-linguistics experts, and one of the things he told me was to envision someone in my life that I thought was inspirational. Whenever I would feel myself getting into these emotional moods, I would imagine my first sergeant major in the military, Mark Hale. I would imagine him just standing there, bemused with a grin on his face, saying, "Sir, what on earth are you doing?" Just little things like that allowed me to laugh at myself and to stop focusing so much on the end. The next few months were much, much more positive as a result. Thank you, Ed. That was very insightful. My next question has to deal with starting a journey. My goal after I graduate is to move to another state and start my career in what I love to do. How did you prepare for your journey? Do you have any advice on how to start? Well, Kevin, I believe no journey is too big if you go about it the right way. What I do before taking any action, I made a list of what I needed to do. The first thing, of course, was research. Research every aspect of what we might possibly encounter. We need to do enough to know that a trip is, in theory, at least physically possible. Another thing I looked at was the mission. What am I trying to accomplish? What is the expedition's aim? Is this purely selfish feat, or do we have a deeper purpose to our journey? Another aspect of it was the training. We knew the expedition was going to be physically bearing, but also need to be at a competence level that is appropriate for the task. Are there any areas we should focus on where ignorance is dangerous? Overall, Kevin, I would suggest knowing what you're getting yourself into, really. Really dig deep into that research. I would also think about people that are in your life who will be able to help you in any way, whether it be for emotional support, funding, or even someone that can help you network to reach your goal. Well, thank you so much, Ed, for being here and talking a little bit about your journey and what it took to accomplish that. And thanks for the advice. I will definitely be making that list.